It's a thrifty Thursday this morning on Rising. Living in Southwest Florida, of course, we spend a lot of time outside, so it's very important to keep our natural playgrounds, our yards, in good condition. So this morning I'm joined by Jonathan Brown. He's a master grower with Harmony Outdoor Brands to talk about some of the biggest myths when it comes to keeping your yard beautiful. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. We were joking. I do not have a green thumb, so I don't want to kill the grass just by looking at it, but I'm sure a lot of people struggle with this. Right. You know, we have the intense heat, we have all this rain, but let's first talk about why keeping your yard healthy is so important for your family.
Well, there's several studies that show that for the emotion, an actual well-kept lawn and maintained lawn and landscape go hand in hand with the calmness. So you've had a really busy day at work, then you fight the traffic getting home, and you go sit down and admire your lawn, and it just has a calming effect. As far as for our environment, if it's kept properly, maintained properly, a lot of people get the idea when it comes to fertilizer that more is better, and if you'll just read the label and actually do what the label says, it'll do just exactly what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
Because of the massive root structure that it has and the fine blades, it actually acts as a filter, filtering off silts and nutrients, and some of those nutrients it'll actually use for its own benefit and its own growth. But that prevents sediment from running off into our streams and then the rivers and then eventually in our estuaries.
Right, right. So, you know, one thing, especially if you've moved here from up north, you probably noticed the grass down here is so much different. It's a lot thicker. These three types of sod in front of us, they're all different. You know, they look similar, but picking the right type of sod or grass for your yard is also very important. So can you give us some tips, because I'm sure a lot of people are scratching their head over this one. Absolutely.
There's a lot of resources in today's technology. We can gather a lot of stuff on the internet. HarmonyBrands.com, there's a list and there's a guide, and the Florida Lawn Handbook can help you as a guide. And there's so much available. The University of Florida has done a ton of research, and we've developed these new grasses over the last 5 or 6 years. 15 years ago, we had another kind of burst of grasses. You have grasses like the one on the left here, that Seville St. Augustine, that's very well adapted and still ranked, even after 30 years, one of the highest shade tolerant grasses that we have available. The one in the middle is more adaptive for sun. So you can actually merge two varieties, but they blend well.
Right.
So it's not like a noticeable thing.
Sure, to the eye, they almost look, I mean, they look very similar.
Right, right. And for those northerners that are used to having fine blade grasses, we've got zoysia grass now. That's a finer blade, and it looks more like the northern cool season grasses, the bluegrass and fescue and stuff like that.
So when the kids are running around outside, it feels good on their little toes,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
We don't have a lot of time, but real quick, let's talk really quickly also about pesticides and, you know, keeping disease out of your lawn.
Right, right. Generally follow the label. It's really good to have somebody to fall back on, but the same thing, you can go to University of Florida, IFAS, you can go to your local ag extension agent, you can get information from them, and just do a little bit of research. If you're not a do-it-yourselfer, then certainly hire a professional to come in and give you some help on it. But again, it's follow the label. Some of the bad press and the bad things that happen concerning turf grass are more related to user error or user neglect or user overuse. If you have a big brown patch, it might be operator error. All right. Well, Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us this morning as we head into season. We hope all of you learn something from this, and your grass looks beautiful this year. So thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it.